Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley is warning voters about a growing military threat from China. Haley claims China's Navy is catching up to the U.S. Navy. Paul Spade checks that claim for the PolitiFact.
Does China have more warships than the U.S.? Well, that's what Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley said the other day. Take a look.
And when it comes to the military, China has grown it at a dangerous pace. They now have the largest naval fleet in the world. They have 350 ships. They'll have 400 in 2 years. We won't even have 350 ships in 2 decades.
Is that right? Well, the Pentagon says China has about 370 ships, and it'll have about 435 by the end of this decade. Meanwhile, the U.S. Navy expects to have 310 by 2035. Now, whether they get to 350 over the next 20 years sort of depends on how much funding they get. You can see the Navy proposes a couple options here. But more importantly, Haley is leaving out some key context. Quantity does not necessarily mean quality. China has been building lighter ships than the U.S. typically builds. One expert compared the Chinese ships to corvettes. They're for regional use only and can't really go into the high seas. Now, by contrast, the U.S. builds ships that are capable of going anywhere in the world for extended periods of time. So Haley's numbers, they're on track, but she's leaving out that context about what Chinese ships are actually capable of. And that's why the Truth Meter rates her claim half true. Read our story and check our sources at WRAL.com.